3144. During operations outside controlled airspace at altitudes of more than 1,200 feet AGL, but less than 10,000 feet MSL, the minimum distance below clouds requirement for VFR flight at night is A. 500 feet, B. 1,000 feet, C. 1,500 feet. The correct answer is A. During VFR, visual flight rules, flight at night outside controlled airspace, at altitudes of more than 1,200 feet AGL, above ground level, but less than 10,000 feet MSL, mean sea level. The minimum distance below clouds requirement is 500 feet. This means that the pilot must maintain a vertical distance of at least 500 feet below any clouds to ensure adequate separation and visibility. It helps to avoid the risk of flying too close to clouds or potential hazards that may be obscured by clouds, especially during nighttime conditions when visibility is reduced. Adhering to the minimum distance below clouds requirement is important for maintaining safety and situational awareness during VFR flights at night. Pilots should also consider other factors such as weather conditions, terrain, and airspace restrictions when planning and conducting their flights to ensure a safe and successful journey. 3148. No person may take off or land an aircraft under basic VFR at an airport that lies within Class D airspace unless the A. Flight visibility at that airport is at least 1 mile. B. Ground visibility at that airport is at least 1 mile. C. Ground visibility at that airport is at least 3 miles. The correct answer is C. When operating under basic VFR, visual flight rules, at an airport that lies within Class D airspace, the minimum ground visibility required for takeoff or landing is 3 miles. This means that the pilot must have a clear line of sight of at least 3 miles on the ground from the aircraft's position to safely maneuver during takeoff or landing. Ground visibility refers to the distance over which prominent objects on the ground can be seen and identified by an observer. It is an important factor in ensuring safe operations, allowing pilots to maintain situational awareness and avoid potential hazards on or near the runway. It's crucial for pilots to adhere to these visibility requirements to ensure safe operations and to comply with airspace regulations. Additionally, pilots should always consider other factors such as weather conditions, runway conditions, and any applicable notices to airmen when planning and conducting their flights. 3149. The basic VFR weather minimums for operating an aircraft within Class D airspace are A. 500-foot ceiling and 1 mile visibility. B. 1,000-foot ceiling and 3 miles visibility. C. Clear of clouds and 2 miles visibility. The correct answer is B. When operating an aircraft within Class D airspace under basic VFR, visual flight rules, the weather minimums require a ceiling of at least 1,000 feet and visibility of at least 3 miles. Ceiling refers to the height of the lowest broken or overcast cloud layer above ground level. The ceiling must be at least 1,000 feet, meaning that there should be enough vertical visibility for the pilot to maintain a safe altitude above the ground and any potential obstacles. Visibility refers to the distance over which objects can be seen and identified. The visibility must be at least 3 miles, allowing the pilot to have sufficient visual reference and maintain situational awareness. Complying with these weather minimums helps ensure that pilots have adequate visibility and clearance from clouds to operate safely within Class D airspace. It is important for pilots to check the current weather conditions and be aware of any applicable notices to airmen before conducting their flights. 2137. During operations within Class E airspace at altitudes of less than 1,200 feet AGL, the minimum horizontal distance from clouds requirement for flight is A. 500 feet, B. 1,000 feet, C. 2,000 feet. The correct answer is C. Above ground level. The minimum horizontal distance from clouds requirement for flight is 2,000 feet. This means that the aircraft must remain at least 2,000 feet horizontally away from any clouds in order to maintain safe separation. Class E airspace is controlled airspace that extends from either the surface or a designated altitude. While it is generally less restrictive than other controlled airspace classes, there are still specific requirements to ensure safe operations. In this case, the minimum distance from clouds helps to maintain visibility and separation from potential hazards. It's important for pilots to be aware of the specific regulations and requirements for the airspace they are operating in, and to comply with the minimum distance from clouds to ensure safe and legal flight operations. 2040. Sport pilot minimum flight visibility for Class E airspace, less than 10,000 feet MSL is A. 2,000 feet horizontal. B. 3 statute miles. C. 3 nautical miles. The correct answer is B. The minimum flight visibility for a sport pilot operating in Class E airspace below 10,000 feet MSL, mean sea level, is 3 statute miles. This means that the sport pilot must have a minimum visibility of at least 3 statute miles to safely operate within that airspace. Class E airspace is a controlled airspace that extends from either the surface or a designated altitude. It is important for pilots to be aware of the specific visibility requirements for the airspace they are operating in to ensure safe navigation and separation from other aircraft. The minimum flight visibility for sport pilots in Class E airspace below 10,000 feet MSL is 3 statute miles, as indicated by option B.